Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. Before I even get into the video, I have to really thank you all for your continued support. You guys have subscribed to me even when content was inconsistent or I've just been completely MIA. You guys have continued to comment, continued to watch my videos. I'm going to assume that some of you have probably indexed it to come back to for certain information, and I appreciate you for supporting me even when I wasn't really supporting myself to be consistent enough to post here for you guys. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking. Thank you for thinking that this video might be intriguing enough for something that you might want to see in the future. My name is Tony of the Tony J Beauty. All right, so this video is going to be completely about where I have been, what my makeup career looked like and is going to look like in the future, and just a little more about me. As always, hopefully this video can help you figure out how to navigate your makeup career, because that is essentially what I'm here for. So let's just start from the very basics, the very beginning, how I got started in the makeup industry. So when I was 17, I graduated high school with my cosmetology license. Throughout the cosmetology program, just as any other teenage girl, you get curious about makeup. So I had started to play in makeup there. I was doing makeup for school plays. One of our students' mothers did makeup as well. She came in and taught a class for career day, and then it grew from there. Later on, I had started working at JCPenney Hair Salon, where a lot of the other stylists would consult with me about makeup tips. I even had a coworker who kind of bum rushed me really and asked me the day of her wedding to do her makeup, so I had to use Sephora testers, if you remember when Sephora was inside JCPenney, to do her makeup. Right, I know it's a yuck, but when you're in a pinch, what are you gonna do? And then from there, I had also gotten hired to work with Anastasia Beverly Hills as a freelancer, which meant I would be essentially on call for special events. Mainly what I worked was their Nordstrom anniversary sales, where I would teach women how to do their brows, demonstrate it on them, and then close the sale, essentially. If you ask me, I was definitely one of their top sellers, and I loved it. I loved the rush. I loved teaching. I loved watching everybody cash out on all these brow products. You know, Anastasia was that girl back in the day, so I was extremely proud to work with that company, and they still make great products. From Anastasia Beverly Hills, I actually then got a job interning with Nordstrom. However, their manager for the cosmetic department, I think she was out on maternity leave or something, so I couldn't intern there, but I interned with sportswear, which was men's clothing. And then outside of there, I was actually working at the Navy Exchange as a beauty consultant for, it was contracted out for Smashbox, Origins, and Jack Black. Of course, excuse me. Of course, there was also Estee Lauder, which is the parent company to Smashbox anyway, and Clinique, which is also under the Estee Lauder umbrella, if I'm not mistaken. So I got to play around with multiple brands, work with multiple women and their skin types, and even do event makeup sometimes. Of course, people are always going to come into a counter to get their makeup done. After that, I went on this very long journey of college and relocating to Florida and really trying to deep dive into professional makeup artistry and just kind of take it to the next level, from being a beauty counter manager or a consultant up to like really being booked, you know, being that girl on bridal for women of color, and even women who weren't identifying as women of color, because I took pride in being able to know it all. So fast forward a few years, I finally got serious and I took my first makeup class. That makeup class progressed into going to multiple conventions and online courses that I'll mention later in this story. Let's jump into that right now, actually. So the first course I ever took, or class I ever took, was in Miami. It was by this very sought after Black makeup artist who had somewhat found virality through Instagram. So I was super anxious to take her class. I just knew it was going to be amazing. I loved her style of work and I wanted to know exactly how she did it. Well, that class unfortunately left me underwhelmed. Just to make a few points, she had milk of magnesia in her kit, even though admitting to how controversial she knew that product was. I also paid nearly $400 for that course and felt like I only got maybe 5 minutes max of her time. She spent most of her time with the girls who paid, I think about $1,000 to be with her all week. However, if they've been with you all week, Saturday is a time where you should be focusing on the ones who only paid to see you on Saturday. I don't know how that works or what the mindset is behind these instructors or coaches, but that's how I feel about it. So then I went home and I, started trying to do these new techniques. Like a lot of artists, I had so many questions about the products she used, products that I could purchase elsewhere. So to say in short, I left that course feeling extremely defeated. So that was the first time I had paid such a large amount for anything outside of college. And I felt like I wasted my time. I felt like, was I not good enough to get her attention or her time? And I didn't really feel like the course was built with substance. Like she spent pretty much the entire course showing us how she applied makeup and then having us emulate it on our model. But what's missing for beginners especially is the science behind it. Why this moisturizer, what ingredient in this moisturizer makes it great for this skin type? Why this foundation, why this foundation plays so well with that moisturizer, or why a primer isn't really necessary for makeup, or is it? And just the basics, the true basics. A lot of stuff I can figure out on my own because I'm able to dissect what other people are telling me, and I'll listen to bits and pieces from one artist and then another artist and then the next one and really take it and mash it together, plus my own scientific research to make it make sense. So we fast forward again and we get to a makeup convention. I had been so fortunate to win a ticket to this convention. Literally prayed on it and got a message, without going too deep into it, that basically good things were going to come to me. And after I found that message, I got awarded with this ticket. So being that that was my first experience being around what I'll call like the big dogs of makeup, one of the most sought after artists that everybody wants to be around, train after, so on, etc. So we get there, I'm being extremely humble because compared to these people who have been in the industry 20 plus years, I felt like I was a baby. And if you want to make good connections, you have to show that you're willing to learn, or at least that's what I thought. But I really ended up finding out that I was coming off too humble. So it looked more like I lacked confidence rather than just being willing to learn. Now, in that convention, it really exposed me to people's split personas, I guess you could say. A few of us left that convention actually feeling the opposite of what the purpose of it was, or the workshop. We left feeling like we weren't good enough, or that the industry was really fake, rather than feeling like we had grown and learned great new things. And while they did have really great pieces, like they had someone from Benefit coming in and telling you about social media influencers and budgets and statistics and all this great stuff, and they had Tabitha Coffee do a motivational speech. Great. But when it boiled down to it, the people who were really behind this, for me personally, I felt like one of the artists who was big on like love and light and us, all be friends and kumbaya and spirituality, they would like hug me or tell me I did a good job after the fact or times throughout. But when it came down to really performing and watching people perform, I felt like they were off to the side, kind of like giving me dirty looks and making me feel like I was less than, instead of positive encouragement or validation. Because the truth is, a lot of us not only go for education, but you're really looking to be validated by your favorite artist, and that's the truth of it. Other people there had experienced feeling less than because they had expressed wanting to work with big artists, like they wanted to work with Beyonce, but we all know that Sir John is not going anywhere. And instead of being told like, you know what, if you keep working, here's personally what my tip would be to somebody who says they want to work with Beyonce: offer something different. So you see, she has Sir John, right? He takes care of her all the time. But when she did, I can't remember what project it was, but I'll insert a picture if I can, and she needed her body painted, she had hired another artist, Michaela Willarby. So if you want to work with the great, or you have somebody that you're aspiring to work with, you have to offer something other than what they can get from the person that's already on their payroll. Also, another person was able to hear a makeup artist who was doing a platform education or like platform speech talk down to girls. Their makeup, I guess you could say, was bad. It was much like, when we're first starting to learn, and we absolutely love glitter because everybody who's on YouTube has loved glitter at one point. It was like that. And he made a shady comment before answering their question, so that turned people off. And I just noticed that for me, sometimes I can turn a blind eye to bad attitudes or smart comments if I feel like they're extremely knowledgeable people, because I'm still going to take away something positive from it. Sorry, I got sidetracked with the dog. But all in all, I realized it was an industry where I didn't feel like it's not coworkers, I can't think of the word. But anyway, my peers weren't authentic. It made me feel anxious, stressed, not good enough. And is that really an industry that you want to work in? The way around that to avoid people is, to go back to your traditional artistry of doing bridal or doing special events where you're pretty much working by yourself unless you need an assistant artist. So then you're not really looking to maintain good relationships or have that validation from your peers or people you look up to, because it's just you. Then moving from there, I enrolled in an online course by the same educator that I had went to see in Miami. When I tell y'all I ran up my credit card on this one, stupid mistake. So she created this course that was supposed to be the first of its kind. I think people have found out that it was actually one that kind of already existed like this. And it was promised to teach us so many things about our business: how to create a brand, how to set up automation and sales funnels, how to create signature looks and target your ideal client. Well, that program fell short for numerous reasons, and actually that program has been either renamed or rebranded to some extent because it's not there anymore. And that was only a couple of years ago, so that tells you. But for one, I found that this educator does what a lot of people do, where they provide more value to the people who sing their praises. So if people went online and told this person how much they love them and gave good reviews, she was there to answer emails, give in-depth explanations. But if you were someone like me, who I don't really sing people's praises because I don't worship people. I will tell people like, oh my gosh, you're a great help. You did an amazing job. That's beautiful work. You know, so I hype my friends up, you know, that kind of thing. Or I'll hype strangers up online when they do something bomb. But I'm not going to be here after I paid you $1,000 and be like, you're the best person in the world. I can't live without you. I'm not doing that. And I find that if you don't do that with some coaches, then they act like they don't pay you any mind. Also, I started to really pick apart her approach and application. With the makeup application, I noticed that she wasn't changing her technique. She would often believe that the one way that she applied makeup was great for every skin type. And if you are a professional artist, you know that that's not true. You don't even really have to be a pro nowadays to know that that's not true. My final breaking point was when I realized I emailed her and she gave me the same generic information that was available in her online course, because I feel like you don't have enough time to break down what you said in the course so that I can thoroughly navigate, or that you don't know how to actually break down information into bite-sized or more detailed information for a specific person. It's so much easier to create a course and throw a PowerPoint out at people, and then everybody reads it and takes it and runs with it and applies it how they want to. But for what real education comes in is when you're able to transform your message or break it down so that a specific person who learns differently can understand it, or when people need more detail. After that, it got worse. We were in a beta program that was supposed to run, it's a 1-year membership, so that should have ran for 12 months with the people who paid to be in beta. But after maybe the second month, they ended up opening that program to any and everybody, which is absolutely faulty if you actually understand business and research. Because in the beta program, it should have ran for an entire year with just those exclusive people so that you could get genuine feedback and ways to improve your business. And that was another thing. They weren't receptive to criticism or feedback that was less than a rave review about them. And I find that with a lot of coaches nowadays, they're very jaded in their approach. They have something snarky to say about clients who are dissatisfied with their work, and they have to get past the idea of, well, I gave you the resources and it's on you. Like, no. This is why I don't pay for group coaching anymore. I am adamant about one-on-one coaching, because if there's something that is not clicking for me, or I tried this marketing technique and it didn't work, they can sit down and say, okay, well, let's try this one. But when you have group coaching, they're not willing to do that. They're giving you a generic plan. And if that generic plan doesn't work for you, guess whose fault it is? It's yours, in their mind. And then they're going to trash talk you online. I know that y'all have seen your favorite coaches or somebody you follow do that, and it's unacceptable. So between the makeup workshop and the online course, I just started to feel like it wasn't aligning for me. Then COVID hit, and in COVID, you know, a lot of us learned solidarity and solitude. And I just started to realize that I need to lean into the way I feel. Everything in life that hasn't worked out for me, I got a feeling about. And once I let it go, I found my way. Like, where I am today is an amazing spot to be in. I'm absolutely grateful. I'm not rich yet, but I'm doing better than I ever have in life. And that is what growth is for. That is what living daily does for you, and making goals and all that. So through my makeup career, with these courses, with people looking at me funny, with me not always landing these bridal contracts, I realized that there was something looming even when I did have clients, and that was anxiety. Like, I felt this pressure. I don't even think that the clients were bothered. It was just a pressure that I was putting on myself, and I was feeling extremely anxious. it was like I would love the final result. I would love seeing their excitement, but throughout the process, I wasn't having fun. Like, I wasn't enjoying the look coming together. I would often feel nervous when it was time to start on the eyes because skin was fine, but eyes, child, people don't listen. You could say open your eyes and people still got their eyes closed because you're up there working on it. So then with COVID, and it became really evident that even if I wanted to do makeup, it wasn't going to be a constant source of money or income because it's COVID. Everything's shut down. Nobody can have their wedding now. Nobody's having events. If they are, it's virtual. It's rare that people were booking appointments. So that's also where the class kicked in, or the online course I took, and why I believe it's a scam, because that course taught everybody else, oh, the way you'll make money is through courses. And if you want to hear a little bit more about how courses are a scam, you can watch Money Explained on Netflix. They talk about it briefly, and it was on point. But anywho, so courses are get-rich-quick schemes, essentially. They're not meant with a kind heart to genuinely progress you. Some are, but those get flooded by the ones who just realize that if I teach 1,000 people and I charge them $50 a month, then I don't know the math, but you know, they made some good money for the month. So then with this whole pandemic, anxiety, feeling inadequate, and not feeling like I was meant for this industry, it came time to move to Japan. And so that's when things got real. It's like, what was the point of still trying to force makeup when the world has gravitated away from it? Whether you were a girl who used to love full glam and now you're like, well, I barely wear makeup because I have a mask on, or I only do half face, or there's no functions for me to even wear makeup too. I'm not even going to the office to go to work. Why would I put on makeup? So the world shifted, and now fragrance, if you haven't noticed, is the new makeup. We're all looking for a new fragrance, so take note of that. But one thing I still had in my back pocket, which I've never genuinely felt anxious about, if I got nervous for a second, I've always found a solution and left on a positive note. So that was hair. And so I realized I'm gonna go full force into the thing that I've loved forever without question. Sorry, my battery or my camera overheated, but I'm back. So when it came time to relocate to Japan, I had the plan a few months prior that I was gonna work on the military base doing hair to refresh my skills and prepare to run my own in-home salon when we moved here. And that's exactly what I'm doing today. So it's genuinely a full circle moment for me. I've never been in a position where I said I was going to do something and I'm killing it. I mean, there was college. I told myself that I was going to go to college and get my degree in business management so that I could run my own salon. So all of it is genuinely starting to come together, and I'm extremely excited about that. I also believe that putting my energy into hair instead of makeup was the right thing to do, because even with a pandemic, people wanted their hair done. People want their hair done now. Military women, contractor spouses, they have so much on their schedule. They don't have time to do their hair every day, so they're looking for protective styles. They still need their ends trimmed. They still need sometimes just good scalp care. So people are getting their hair done every day. They need refreshed highlights. So all of that really to say where I am now with this channel. Truth be told, I have made a new channel which you can check out here that is with Tony TV, and I'm really thinking about merging it over here. The reason why is because analytically and statistically it makes more sense to bring to this channel, because here I have almost 600 subscribers out of the 1,000 that you need to get monetized, and I have a quarter of the watch time. As to where starting a brand new channel from scratch, I have hardly any of that. But I don't want to upset my subscribers here by uploading stuff they don't want to see. I've already tried to upload some hair videos and a vlog, which people really didn't watch unless they were actual friends and family. So here's what it is. When I first started this channel, I was all in. My husband had rented a camera for a week, and that's how you got my most popular video of the best foundations for beginner makeup artists. And I really want to do an updated video of that because my opinions have changed on some stuff. And I want to bring you what everybody really loves and wants to know, which is foundations. Also, I created my new channel because I wanted to have fun. I felt a little stuffy. I felt like I was putting pressure on myself to always sound like the perfect professional who knew everything. I know everything, but I was fighting to prove to you guys. Well, let me take that back. I know, or I believe in what I know. Like, I'm very knowledgeable. And I wanted to share that information with you, but in order for you to value my opinion, I felt like I had to be this very straightforward and stuffy, clean cut, no slang type of person. And that's just honestly not me. So moving forward, I'd love for you guys to tell me what you want to see on this channel. I'll definitely still bring you some makeup videos, but I don't want you to sit here and watch and think I'm going to be a very one-dimensional person who doesn't express themselves or doesn't use slang or doesn't make jokes in the middle, because I absolutely will. My goal with YouTube moving forward is to be myself, honestly, because I created this platform to share knowledge with others, but I found that I was putting too much pressure on myself to be politically correct about everything, be very square, straightforward, but I like to have fun. And I know before, a lot of my other non-makeup related videos weren't getting many views, so that has stopped me from uploading here and uploading to my new channel. But I would love to kind of merge everything. Let me know if that's an absolute hate for you, if I should upload it here anyway, even if somebody's bothered with it. And let me know what kind of makeup videos you still want to see. I've noticed that the old school influencers are kind of falling off YouTube. They've done it for so long that when the pandemic rolled around, it was kind of like burnout or an easy way to exit. Or people had to pivot because their material wasn't entertaining. Just like you notice brands stopped putting out products for a while because of the pandemic and having to wear a mask and nobody was wearing makeup. The influencers had nothing to post about. I mean, once you did makeup friendly, or once they did mask friendly makeup and eye looks to still pop while you're wearing a mask, after that it was nothing to talk about. So you saw them pivot into more lifestyle content like vlogging or family videos, challenges, pranks, starting candle and jewelry lines, because they needed something else to kind of fall back on or find a new passion, so to speak. So if you happen to click over to my other channel, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I've done a fun Savage X Fenty review that is very honest and unsponsored. I've done a Lisi Fit review, which is fitness apparel that is very endorsed by influencers and celebrities, and I just want to bring that here to you guys. So let me know how you feel about that. If you want me to do like get ready with me to kind of bridge that fun lifestyle content over here, or maybe you want me to test out fun makeup like Japanese makeup, because we're questioning how that would turn out on my complexion. So let me know. I'm really open to everything, and I'm so glad that you clicked this video, and I will see you in the next one.